Hey, season's greetings, guys. Here for the final day at last. Ho, ho, ho. Season's greetings once again for the final time for the last day of the 12 days of anime. The 12th and final day. Hopefully everybody had a very awesome holiday. A very Merry Christmas. Hopefully Mr. Jolly Fat Man has given you some really awesome gifts. And yeah, so let's just jump right into it. I'm sounding like Phil DeFranco, but not going to waste too much time. Here is my final day of the 12 days of anime. So, what did I get on this 12th day of anime that the great goddesses of waifus have given to me at last? Well, even though it's not a lot that I pretty much enjoyed out of this year, I decided to make a list of the top 5 anime that I have enjoyed watching for the year 2017. Now keep in mind, while 4 of them are from this year, 1 is going to be excluded that is not from this year, but the English dub version to this anime, which I was very happy that I marathon all the way through, but that's going to be a little bit later on. So let's just jump right into it. So here we go, starting off with number 5. Number 5 being the Castlevania anime. While my only problem with the anime to Castlevania, while it was so short, what I really loved about the Castlevania anime is about how badass Simon Belmont really is. Or no, I'm sorry, not Simon, excuse me, Trevor Belmont. Because this is based off Castlevania 3, off the NES original game, Castlevania 3. And I gotta say, when it comes to Castlevania, I didn't really know what to expect from the anime because Castlevania from the old NES games didn't really have the most deepest story. I mean, it had an explanation, it did have a plot, but of course it was an 8-bit game, so it had a plot, yet it kept progressing more when you go to different levels, etc., etc. There weren't really too many cutscenes either, maybe just like different scenarios of which castle you're going to go to, and then which characters you're going to meet along the way. Other than that, that's pretty much it really. But when it comes to this, oh my god, they did a really awesome job by actually capturing not only some spirits from the video game, but also a different take on the character as a whole. So instead of just like playing it safe like most sometimes, like on a simple Nintendo game like Castlevania 3, well not just simple, but simple and awesome, they actually took it a whole step further by making Simon, I keep getting those confused, crap. Trevor Belmont an absolute badass, because this guy, he's a drunk, he pretty much swears a lot. So warning, this isn't like your typical Nintendo animation show like Pokemon or whatever. There is a lot of swearing and a lot of use of language, alcohol, etc. Pretty much representing the days of the old, of like the 17th century or pretty much whatever. So it's pretty much taking place around that time where vampires and demons were all over the place. And of course, we had to make it somehow religious political conflict. Hooray! Which they kind of added. I know a lot of people don't really like, but it's pretty much that the church doesn't really believe in all these demons and stuff like that. But in reality, they want them cast from the world where there's no such thing as magic or science. It's like, screw all that. You know, it's all thanks to the Lord this, the Lord that. You pretty much get it. So there might be a little bit on a war on religion here when it comes to this series. So be warned, if you are sensitive about that kind of stuff, you might not want to consider watching this. But on that religious political standpoint, not political, but religious standpoint, there is some kind of like, you know, war saying like, you know, all this, you know, pretty much like saying that like not everything about God is always true. Most of the times it's just a made up, you know, stuff like that. Again, it's whatever you believe. So if you're not into that religious conflict, then you're not really going to really get a good find on this. Instead, I don't know if you're going to be offensive about it, but it's really your call. But anyways, when it comes to the action, we get some pretty cool action. Not like a crap ton of action, which is the thing I wish we did have more, but it's just the world building and the development of Trevor. Then of course you're going to meet more characters along the way later on once we get season 2 next year, when we get more characters from the actual video game of Castlevania 3. Hopefully it's not going to be this short. Maybe hopefully like 8 episodes or 12 episodes. I wouldn't mind that. So I almost forgot that's another list of anime I gotta watch next year as well as a continuation of Castlevania. So 2018, oh boy, cannot get here any more sooner. Now I know a lot of people are going to be mighty pissed on what I'm going to put for number 4, but it is going to be what I say is my own opinion. So again, deal with it. Number 4 goes to the Attack on Titan Season 2. Now, granted, Attack on Titan Season 2 is pretty cool, and I did enjoy it for the most part. It was just that my only problem with it, though, is just that how short it was compared to the other one. And I guess you could say the hype level kind of died down a little bit due to the fact that we haven't had an anime in like 4 years now. We haven't had Season 2 already, guys. Like, really? So, you know, every time we were trying to have a Season 2, there's been delays. And then finally, 2017, we get the second season. And while it's pretty damn cool, it's just that I might have lost my little bit of touch with it because I didn't really think not a lot of stuff happened besides some really interesting, you know, character reveals. Like, there was a lot of Titan reveals that I didn't even expect because, again, I'm not a manga reader, so it kind of caught me by surprise on a lot of Titan reveals, like, and, you know, people that you can't really trust anymore. So a lot of conflicts like that were actually pretty cool. We did actually get some pretty kick-ass action, though, and like I mentioned before in the one of the days of anime, which I'm trying to remember which one it was, that I mentioned the fight between Eren Yeager versus the Armored Titan, which I thought was one of the best fights in the entire season by Norm, period. Definitely one of my favorites. Now, the ending stuff was pretty awesome too. It had like a dramatic feel to it, but I wouldn't say it wasn't as dramatical as I say like Eren versus the Armored Titan, which I found that to be like the best moment of the series. But other than that, though, Attack on Titan Season 2 was pretty damn cool. But I heard that Season 3 and above is going to be a lot better, so I am really looking forward to it. So overall, Attack on Titan, again, not going to go into too much spoilers, but I will say this, though, that Attack on Titan Season 2, there's a lot of Titan reveals that I'm not going to mention too much, but if you haven't checked it out, I say definitely go for it. A lot of crazy character reveals, a lot of, like, traitors, and you're going to see some traitors. Believe me, traitors you never thought you'd see coming at all. So expect to see that as well during the season. So number 4 definitely goes to the Attack on Titan anime. Number 3. Wow. You didn't think I was going to put this on the top list because, again, it's not an anime that was out this year. But the release of the English dub of this series was finally released. And I was very happy that the whole series was completed. Because I never watched this anime in Japanese, because of course when it comes to me loving Dragon Ball, I love the English dub a lot. Even though, granted, I've gotten used to Dragon Ball Super by now already, so I'm pretty much already used to pretty much the subs by now. Even though, again, I will always claim Sean Chamel as my Goku always, but I'm pretty much used to the very old actress that plays Goku. I mean, I'm pretty much used to it. Granted, I still think it's not really the most fitting, which some scenes when it comes to the screens or the Kamehameha, stuff like that, I really wish sooner or later we do get the English dub version to those, especially with Goku. Now, especially when it comes to like Goku Black as well, or like, you know, when we get to like Super Saiyan Rose, stuff like that, which we're going to get to next year. By the way, a little fun fact for the English dub of the latest episodes of Super, we're actually going to be getting a returning voice actor. We're going to be getting Brian Drummond playing the clone of Vegeta, that, you know, that little mini filler in Super, which I know some people didn't really care for too much. Yeah, that's really surprising. They actually hired an Ocean dub voice actor to be in the Funimation dub. That's pretty insane because both of them are pretty rivals in their dub. I'm actually quite surprised we got them to do it. But enough beating around the bush. Let's get to the number 3. Dragon Ball Z Kai, the final chapters. I marathoned the shit out of this once the DVDs were finally starting to come in pairs every month. Because at first, I only used to watch it like on a daily basis on the weekends when Toonami would always air the episodes. But then they pulled a Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood like they did with those releases. They were ahead of Adult Swim, well, except now we have Toonami. But back then, when there was just Adult Swim, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood with Funimation's DVD sets came out way before the releases of the Adult Swim episodes. Not all of them, mind you, just like by at least the 3rd or the 4th box at the most is when they started to do that. And I'm like, yo! And then that's when I started to actually marathon Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood by 2010, past 2011. When 2011, they ended the box sets in the dub and I finished it. So, yeah. But here, it finished all in 1 year compared to that, though. So, this is Dragon Ball Z Kai, the final chapters. I absolutely loved the final chapters in a much better format, way better with less filler. Granted, we did keep some filler from the old DBZ, not all of it, mind you, just some of it, just the ones that are kind of memorable, but the other ones that kind of skipped on it. And there's a reason for this. The reason why is because that Toei had a licensing issues with certain countries of Europe, so they're like, okay, look, if you really want this, we're gonna have to keep some of the filler. And, you know, unlike the Japanese one where it was all just straight canon. Now, there is a bit of filler at the beginning, but I'm okay with it because the dubbing and the script were a lot better. And especially once we get to the canon stuff, everything is just straight on canon. Like, there's, like, no filler in between that this time. Maybe there is a little bit, but that's pretty much about it. Regardless, though, I was very glad to rewatch this series the way it was meant to be. Not only, well, obviously uncut. Well, gotta again, DBZ was uncut from the beginning. But what I loved about it is that the original script from the Japanese dub was perfected really well when it comes to the English dub. There was no goofy one-liners. There was no, like, these ridiculous script changes that they had from the original that didn't really fit well. Really weird cameo voices that didn't really go well. No, this time it smoothed really well, close to the original Jap version, even though we had to keep some episodes that were fillerish. But on the upside, though, the dub was still really great. The music choices, while some of them were pretty damn good, I wish certain music choices could have been better. However, the really great tracks are the ones like the dun 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 dun. Like, that one was good. I enjoyed that one. And then the Super Saiyan 3 theme I really enjoyed a lot too. And then, like, there was other ones, like the one where Vegeta sacrificed himself. That was a beautiful soundtrack. And I know that now Super does borrow some of those awesome soundtracks we had in Kai 2014's OST. And it's great. Like, I'm actually glad they actually borrowed most of those soundtracks and put them into, like, Super, because some of those tracks were pretty legendary, especially like when the saddest moments come and then they use that Vegeta sacrificing song. Oh man, I tear up every time I watch that. And I'm really glad that Funimation got the opportunity to finally complete Dragon Ball Z the way that the dubbing and the way that the presentation was supposed to be from the very beginning. I want to say thank you so much, Funimation, for making this year so awesome for me as a Dragon Ball fan. From what we always wanted, after 15 years of demand, we finally get a proper dub of DBZ. Now I know how the Sailor Moon fans feel when their dub finally got properly well done from Viz Media. And even though I'm still watching it now from the Viz Media dub. So props to them. So I enjoyed everything, including that one song that Takanashi did, like the ones that did the Naruto Shippuden OST and Fairy Tail. I think it was called Let It Burn. Yo, when they play that song when Goku versus Fighting Kid Buu, yo, I was blasting that shit on my TV just like watching that. And it was so epic. Oh my god. Let's go. So number 3, Dragon Ball Z Kai's The Final Chapters. Now we're going to number 2. And I bet you didn't think this was going to be in my top choice. But I just love this season so damn much that I had to do it. So number 2 goes to My Little Pony. Friendship is Magic Season 7. The best season we had in a very long time. I would say it definitely tops up Season 5. Because before, I thought Season 5 was the best one. Now Season 5 is the second best. And now my new number 1 goes to Season 7. And I'm really hoping that Season 8 really does improve. Because we got so much great content. We had so much great character development. Episodes with certain characters that we finally got over these past years. Certain questions that were finally answered, even though there was a little bit of stuff that was still left out. But what we got was just great enough as it is. And the finale, like the way the season ended off, was a awesome way to set up for the next season. Because speaking of that, I gotta make that video about the whole Season 8 stuff, but that's gonna be during the week. Once I'm finally done with all this holiday stuff, there's no episodes for any anime during the weekend. Plenty of time, so I got plenty of time. If I'm not too busy with my Nintendo Switch addiction, which you'll see in my Christmas update that I did get one. Spoiler! But anyways, yeah, so, yeah, okay, so that is it for number 2. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 7 gets the second spot. Number 1 is the awesomeness of this superhero anime, and I did catch up to the manga recently this year. It is such an awesome franchise. It's almost getting close as that Toriko greatness. Not as close, but it's not at to that point, but it's getting closer to that point of being on that Toriko-ish level. And of course, I am talking about the one and only, the second season of this awesome series, My Hero Academia Season 2. That day has come! Or better yet, no wait, Season 2. Yo! I love that opening. Okay, I can't sing Japanese for shit, but number 1 anime I enjoyed in 2017 was My Hero Academia Season 2. I absolutely love the way the anime did these 2 arcs. When it comes to the sports festival arc, was very well done for a tournament arc. Very well done. Great character progression. Great way to show off everybody else's quirks on how far they've come. And then also we have the Stain arc that was, amazing. It was an amazing job that Studio Bones actually did. And then finally we had the final exams of the first year of UA, so we had that going on, and that was actually really well done as well. Granted, I do agree with Rogers a bit. The way they could have ended, well, actually no, correction. The way they ended the season finale was fine. Actually, no, I take that back. Like, at first I kind of agreed with him. It was in a little bit of a weird place, but at the same time, I didn't mind it, because it actually does mark the beginning of really cool shit that's going to happen in Season 3. Not going to get into spoilers, but Season 3, prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves. Prepare your ass cheeks. It's going to get insane. Even more insane than these first 2 seasons. You're not even going to believe it. And then when we get to Season 4, one of my boys, I talked about in the manga, it's going to be great. And that's going to be one of my favorite moments when we get to that. So that's it, yeah. So number 1 anime of the year, MVP, goes to My Hero Academia Season 2. Thank you guys so much for enjoying my editions of the 12 Days of Anime. Thank you for sticking by with me. It's been a pleasure doing this once again, even though I really wish there could have been more sort of content I could have came up with, but, when it comes to anime this year, there wasn't really too much, at least to me, a lot of impactful series, except for My Hero, of course, to me was the most impactful. But next year, oh my fucking god, next year is going to be so lit. There's going to be a lot of content coming out next year. And I think next year my list is going to be a lot better. But anyways, yeah. Thank you for sticking around. Once again, do not forget to rate, comment, and subscribe as always. Click that bell to join the squad. Follow my social media plugins and my gamer tags as well. That is it. Finito. So that is it. I will see you guys on the flip side. For my other future videos, and then of course my New Year's video will definitely be the main final video of 2017, or unless I get to other stuff like Cuphead, etc. If I get to it, we'll see. Peace, soul, love, chicken grease, and the sky is the limit. Anime manga fans, keep supporting Rich Read What You Watch, and that's it. And bronies, bro hoof, brony on. That's it. Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thank you guys so much. And until we meet again next year, see you all for another fun, exciting year for 2018, God willing. So, yeah. Bye-bye.